Time for our Vidant Spotlight. We always enjoy finding out what's going on at Vidant Health and Vidant Medical Center. So fortunate to have a world-class medical community here. And this morning, it's a special treat for me because Erica Mizelle is going to be on with us this morning. Erica is usually the person that sets these interviews up, but she's going to be on this morning. Erica is the manager of external communications for Vidant Health. How are you?
Good morning.
And we'll explain why you're on in just a second. But let me also introduce the audience to Melissa Bradshaw, who is an RN and lactation specialist with Vidant Women's Health Program. This August begins World Breastfeeding Week and Month. And there's a lot of stuff about breastfeeding already out in the media this morning. I was just telling you, Melissa, when I was driving to work this morning, I heard the North Carolina Network quoting some statistics about breastfeeding. So I guess we're going to be hearing a lot about that this month.
Yes, you should be. Yeah.
And of course, Erica is going to share her personal experience through what's offered at Vidant. But let's talk about that. Let's start with what is Vidant doing this month to kind of commemorate and celebrate Breastfeeding Month.
So today's the first day of August. So today kicks off World Breastfeeding Week and Month. We celebrate by holding what's called a global big latch on the first Saturday in August, and we've done this. This is our 5th year doing that. So what we do is we get mothers together who are breastfeeding a baby or child, expressing milk for a baby or child, or feeding breast milk by an alternative method, to all do that at the same time to try to break last year's record for doing that.
So here's a general question. Why should a mother breastfeed? Because some people choose to.
Right.
Some people choose not to.
Right.
Some people have trouble with it and can't.
Mm-hmm.
So what's and I've heard over the years that, there are many advantages, but tell us what the advantages are.
Right. So health advantages is probably the main driver of why women choose to, some people say should breastfeed. Health benefits to the baby include protection of their GI system, especially important for premature babies. There's something called NEC, or necrotizing enterocolitis, that can be very deadly to a premature baby. So we really encourage any mother who's got a preemie to at least provide breast milk, even if she doesn't latch her baby on. But for any baby, decrease incidence of cancers, ear infections.
So statistics show that that a child who is breastfed has a better chance of avoiding health problems. Is that an accurate statement?
That's an accurate statement, yes.
And I was listening this morning. The statistics that they were quoting on the North Carolina Network this morning were kind of shocking. I'd never heard it before. I mean, is it true that children who are breastfed have a much, much lower decreased probability of even death?
Yes, it decreases the infant, child, and even maternal mortality rate. Mm-hmm.
No kid. Why is that?
Well, for babies, those things I just mentioned. Mamas, when they're exposed to something, their body makes antibodies against that, whatever the baby's exposed to. So it protects the baby from infections and things like that. For mom, I think a good reason is it helps to decrease post-birth bleeding, which can improve a mother's mortality rate after she delivers the baby.
So you've got an event Saturday, and is this something that prospective mothers should come to?
Yes, if you are prenatal, you're thinking about breastfeeding, this, and especially if you've never been exposed to breastfeeding, you're going to be exposed to breastfeeding here. See, we just want to promote that it's a normal way to feed a baby, and you can have your questions answered. We're with Lactation. There are several of us with Lactation are going to be there. Also, some vendors in the area will be there as well.
Now, where is this, and do you sign up? Give us the details.
So you can sign up online. We have a Facebook. You go through James and Connie Maynard's Children's Hospital Facebook page, and you'll see our event in the event tab. You can register online through the breastfeeding link, the Big Latch On link, or you can just show up that day and register.
What time
is it? It's
just
as easy to do that.
What time is it?
The latch on is going to occur at 10:30, but our doors open at 9:30.
Yeah.
So we need you there early if you're going to participate in the latch.
All right, let me bring in Erica again. Erica Mizelle is the direct manager of external communications, and She's the person that I communicate with to set up all these great. She brings me all these great Vidant interviews. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good.
It's good to see. It's good to see you on this side of the
It
table
is.
for a
And
change.
I'm kind of hiding out in the background.
You're
behind
usually
the
over there
cameras.
taking pictures and making sure everything's going
Documenting.
smoothly.
Providing moral support. Yes.
But you wanted to share personal experiences about breastfeeding your children and what Vidant is offering coming up this Saturday.
Sure. So my advice, I think, to either new moms or women who are pregnant is I did not seek advice and support as soon as I should have. And maternal expressions and the resources that Vidant provides are wonderful. And I say this is that I took advantage of them before I came to work for Vidant. So I was a new mom trying to kind of figure out what I needed to do. And I think breastfeeding is one of those things that you just, in my case, I just assumed like it's just part of the process. I'll figure it out. I'll make sense of it. And
It's not as easy as it looks, is it?
No. And I think that I
It
had
seems like it would be one of those natural things, but
Yes.
it doesn't happen
it's
that way.
not. And
Yeah.
and you mentioned, some women, choose to breastfeed, some women can't. You don't know what your experience is going to be until you find yourself in that position. So I had an idea, and I'm a little bit of a type A personality, a plan of how this is going to go.
Yeah.
And a child is a great equalizer in terms of you might have a plan, but they're going to do what they do. They need what they need. And in my case, my daughter had a lip tie and a tongue tie, which affected her ability to latch. So for the first month, she's tiny. A child's ability to latch is going to affect your milk supply. So she was okay. But as she got bigger, my supply did not increase with her. So she started to lose weight. And I had a pediatrician who was looking at her, and I had family friends. And I think most new moms can experience the fact that you have advice that comes out of the woodwork from everybody, and all well-meaning, well-intentioned. But I had family friends telling me, you're not intaking enough calories. It's something that you're doing. The pediatrician looking at my daughter, and the lactation consultant at Maternal Expressions at Vidant Medical Center looked at the two of us together.
Oh.
And within 10 minutes, she said, here's what
Here's
I'm
the
seeing.
problem. Yeah.
I think she has a lip tie and a tongue tie, but you'll need to make sure that, that's, she's like, I'm an RN.
What
I'm
is
not
what is a lip tie? I don't know
it
what
just,
that is.
it's the lip tie, it's the piece of skin under your top lip, the
Yeah.
frenulum.
Right.
It's just tight, so she could not open her mouth. You
Oh, I
wouldn't
see.
know.
Yeah.
Looking at her, I had no
Right.
idea.
Right.
But she said, this is my idea of what I think it is.
Right.
I'm going to give you a doctor's name. You leave here, you call this number, you say, I have a child that's a failure to thrive, and you want their next available appointment. That was on a Wednesday. On a Friday, I had an appointment, and then she was right as rain. And so I just think like it was traumatic, all of it, and stressful.
So you were looking for answers everywhere, but there they were right under your nose at Vidant during this.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I just wish that I had called sooner and realized that there's help available and people who can support you, and you don't have to have all the answers. Right.
And I mean, and is that a fairly common story right there?
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
We have some mamas that are more apt to ask for help, and then some feel like I should be able to do this on my own, especially first-time mamas, but also mamas who have had 2 or 3 kids, and then she has this 4th one, and she's not having the same
Experience.
road that
Yeah.
she had with
Right.
the others. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't need help with my other babies. I'll just figure it out. So they come to us later, then we catch things later.
So the message here is that if you're pregnant, or you're a prospective mother, or maybe you're a mother who's
You
having
know
issues
someone,
now,
or you're
yeah,
watching somebody
Right.
struggle.
they should come Saturday morning and seek help, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of help available right
Yeah.
here in the community.
We have outpatient appointments available Monday through Friday. All you have to do is call us over at the hospital. You can call the store 252-847-1749 to schedule an appointment, or in our office 252-847-0892.
Aren't we fortunate in this community to have this kind of stuff available? There's so many communities that don't have this stuff. So
Yeah.
Great. I think so. It was a
yeah.
lifesaver for me and
Yeah.
my family.
And that makes a good point. If you're not from this area, you delivered at a different hospital, you can still come see us.
So I would imagine, Erica, that as a parent, as a mom, you want to have that connection to your child. You want to, I can't imagine the emotions you went through when all of that was not working the way you thought it was supposed to.
Yeah, and my mentality is I'll just keep trying, and eventually I'll figure it out. And this was a case that was beyond me, and it took me a minute.
You would have never figured it out unless you gotten help. Yeah.
No, I needed, and I think it's looking at it from my daughter's perspective,
Right.
that this isn't about me so much as about what's best for my child. And so it did. My breastfeeding journey was not what I planned for it to be, and I did end up relying on formula. And I'll say that my daughter is healthy, happy, thriving. It wasn't what I envisioned it to be. We did a little bit of, breastfeeding and formula. So I just say there's a path for everybody,
There
and you'll
is.
figure it out. But in my case, I just wish that I had gotten help sooner. And I was delighted and relieved that I could figure out what the problem was. I had next steps. I knew what to do, and I continued. And then when I started working at Vidant and passed maternal expressions and as an employee and team member, I went back in and said, "You don't have any idea how I feel like you saved me at a point in life when I just was at wit's end."
Yeah.
And I think that that's a common experience
Yeah.
for women. But they made me feel really comfortable and let me know that it wasn't something that I wasn't necessarily doing right, but I was learning, and that there was help.
I am sure that there are many women out there that are going through this, and so I hope that they will seek help. And again, if they're not able to come Saturday, is there something is this an ongoing opportunity?
So our outpatient services are available Monday through Friday. We're there 7 days a week. The weekends we're just lower staff, so we don't cover the outpatient. But if you have questions or concerns, you can call us and we can walk you through that, make you an appointment to come see us. So that happens every day.
Again, Melissa Bradshaw, who is a lactation specialist at Vidant Medical Center here in Greenville. Give the details on how to sign up or show up
Okay.
and where this event is going to be on Saturday.
So this is the Global Big Latch On, and we're having it at the Monroe Conference Center, which is beside the hospital. You can show up that morning. Doors open at 9:30.
Which side of the hospital?
If you're looking at the hospital, it's going to be on the right side. It's beside the old BB&T building, the Venture Tower.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You can register
Behind the
that day.
KFC.
Correct.
Everybody
yes.
knows what a KFC
And the Burger King and the McDonald's.
is. Right, yeah.
You can sign up there that day. It's just as easy to register that day, but you can also go online through our link.
Okay, great. What is the link?
So you'll go to the James and Connie Maynard's Children's Hospital Facebook page, and there's a link to our event, and it links you to the Big Latch On where you can register through our
Awesome.
event.
Anything else that we missed that you want to mention, either one of you?
No, I think you
think
did a good
so.
job.
Great job this morning. We appreciate you being here. Melissa Bradshaw from Vidant and Erica Mizelle, my friend from Vidant, and she's always setting the interviews up, so it was great to finally have you on the air this
I
morning.
agree. Well, this way I could watch everybody send all the guinea pigs ahead of me, so I knew what to expect. But you've made it a pleasure to be here this morning. Thank you for allowing us to share the great
Definitely.
resources that are available across the board. I really appreciate it, and I know that my colleagues at Vidant do too.
Well, hey, listen, it's from the heart when I say that, we should get on our knees and thank God every day for Vidant Medical Center and Vidant Health, and being here in Eastern North Carolina was so fortunate.
Well, I'm
and it's
impressed
such a great
by-
facility.
Well, and I feel, I'm on the communication side of things, but I certainly am impressed every day by the people that I work alongside of and get to support and promote
Yeah.
their great work, because I couldn't do what you do, but I certainly see the benefit and the value of having
My
this
wife,
team here.
my wife started her career there. My daughter had some time there, so I know what kind of commitment is there. So, and we've all been patients there at one point or another.
Yeah, yeah.
In our family. Good to see you both. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
being here. All right.
Thank